So now that we have our files imported and our sequence ready to go, we're going to start editing by double-clicking on our interview clip and loading it up into the source window. We're going to watch this whole interview and make note of any jump cuts as well as any sound bites that we know we want to keep. So I'm going to hit the space bar.
Wake up in the morning, cup of coffee, and then usually a quick shower. Running out my door I usually have a big bag of stuff because I won't be back to my apartment the entire day between classes, Martin Hill agency meetings, and other university commitments.
So we can see around here there was a bit of a jump cut between two pieces of interview footage that was cut together. We're not going to worry about that right now because we will be able to add B-roll later, which will cover up that jump cut. Because I know this interview is already how I want it, I'm going to go ahead and click on the image and drag it down to my timeline. Premiere is going to tell me that my video from my interview and the sequence settings that I have in my timeline do not match. I'm going to click on Change Sequence Settings so that my timeline matches the video that I took. And we can see here that it fits the frame perfectly. So now that that's set, let's go ahead and bring in some B-roll. I'm going to go back to my project panel and look for Coffee 1. I'm going to double click on that to load it into my source window, and I'm going to watch it just real quick from the beginning. So I really like that clip, but at the beginning my camera's moving a bit. I'm going to grab my blue playhead and go to the beginning and look for where I kind of stop moving. It's right about here, right about 1 second. What I'm going to do now is hit this in point or mark in to highlight everything after that scrubber, everything after my blue playhead. So now if I click and drag on my video, it will bring in only that highlighted portion of that B-roll. I'm going to move this over just a little and then let's look. Perfect. So now that we have some B-roll on our timeline, let's watch our video. I'm going to grab my playhead, move it back to the beginning, and hit space.
Wake up in the morning, cup of coffee, and then usually a quick shower. Running out my door I usually have a big bag of stuff because I won't be back to my apartment the entire day between classes, Martin Hill agency meetings, and other university commitments.
You'll notice that for the most part, we can only see our B-roll and we can't see our interview. That's because our B-roll is on a higher video track than our interview, effectively covering it up. This is how we cover up the jump cut that we saw earlier.